We love featuring indie artists right here on the KIX 96.5 Morning Show. And this morning, we're heading to West Virginia to chat with country singer-songwriter Austin Adkins. Austin is a signed SMG recording artist. He's been hitting the live scene hard and just released his latest single called Full Tilt. We're excited to have Austin on the show. First, Austin, thanks for coming on.
Hey, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, man, you've been busy. You had a little break for COVID, and it seems like the last year you have been going full tilt. You've been going nonstop, Austin.
Yeah, I've been trying to stay busy. You know, COVID hit, and it went from every day or every weekend for the past 3 or 4 years before COVID having shows booked to COVID hitting and months of bookings I had canceling all at once. I didn't know what to do with my life. So as soon as, what's it called, where everybody had to stay inside, the shut-in got lifted, I went straight to work. I went all out.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, you were rolling. You had offers. You had to turn some down because of COVID. It had to be a depressing time. What was going through your mind? Did you ever think this was going to turn around?
In the back of my mind, I was thinking that they was definitely going to do some changes, which it has to the live music scene. I mean, there's been a lot of changes, especially in live music venues. They've, like a lot of places have changed hands. Yeah. So whenever you started to go back out as live musicians, we really had to go out and redo everything from the ground up.
Yeah. Man, was there ever a time when you were just like, forget it, it's not even worth coming back?
The thought might have passed my mind once or twice, but then I snapped out of it, and I was like, no, I love it too much. I got to do it.
Well, you're also the singer-songwriter for Coal Dust Holler Band. I mean, you've been doing a lot of solo gigs, but the band's still going, right?
Yeah, we still got the band together. It's just hard finding places that want to do full bands right now.
Yeah.
They're still kind of trying to work back in their live music and get live music going again. So a lot of places are opting for the solo artist in place of the full band until they can get their venue back to capacity, and then they're going to bring back the full band.
Yeah. I mean, you've got gigs. You played a couple of gigs last week. Are you booking all these yourself?
For the most part, yeah. I just started working with a guy, Nick, out of Kentucky, and he's been doing some bookings for me as well. But for the most part, the majority of my bookings are all me.
Man, you live in West Virginia. You grew up in West Virginia. Last weekend you played in Kentucky. You say the tri-state area.
Yeah.
What is that, Austin? We're out here in Wyoming. We have no clue. Tell us about where you're at.
So the tri-state area, it consists of Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. And I lived in Tennessee for a while, and I spoke to a few high-ups in the music industry. I spoke to the tour manager for Florida Georgia Line. And he said that the tri-state area is ate up with musical talent. He said that a good 80 to 90% of the guys that's in Nashville right now, he said that come from the tri-state. I mean, you got Noah Thompson, you got Tyler Childers, me trying to break out into it. You had Brad Paisley, Keith Whitley.
Man, yeah, a lot of them have came from the area. You say you're traditional storytelling with modern beats. So where are we at? Are we more old school? Are we new school? Are we in the middle?
I try to stick to the stories of, I try to stick to more traditional stories. I try to put more of the traditional storytelling into my music, but I do like the modern style of like Eric Church and Brantley Gilbert. I don't dip too far into the pop country. I mean, I did one song, Fell in Love in the Middle of a Back Road for my old lady. I have it out, and it's kind of her style, so I kind of did it for her. But I just love the blues and rock side of like Brantley Gilbert and Eric Church.
Yeah, for sure. We're chatting with Austin Adkins. Go check him out, austinadkinsmusic.com. He's on Facebook, Twitter. His latest single, Full Tilt, is out now. You're getting ready. I mean, you're already planning for an East Coast tour next year. But I like how you're smart about it. You're looking for corporate sponsors, which always helps.
It does, yeah. It's a hard undertaking, a tour is, especially for someone like me. You know, I got 4 kids, an old lady. I got rent and bills just like everybody else. Times are tough in America right now, especially for our economy. And I think a good opportunity would be to go out and look for sponsors, because not only could it help me make the tour happen, I could set up signage. I could set up booths for the sponsors to send out representatives of their own to my shows to gather up attention for themselves and whatnot. And I just think all around it'd be a good gig.
Yeah, I saw where when you're playing solo, you're all over the place. It even said that you played like Green Day.
Oh yeah, yeah. So growing up, I mean, I was all over the place growing up. I mean, I'd listen to country, rock, rap, pop, punk. I'd listen to it all. And today, even whenever I do my live shows, you know, there's always going to be a variety of people that enjoy a variety of music in the crowd. So primarily I do country, but I'll throw in some Green Day. I'll throw in some 3 Days Grace, Mike Posner, Niall Horn, stuff like that to try to appeal to everybody that's in there.
I think R. Kelly was even listed. I mean, did people even realize you're playing an R. Kelly song when you're doing it?
I don't think they do when I first start, but then I get to the chorus of it, and they're like, okay, yep, time to dance.
That's hilarious. And it says that you'll play, people ask you to stay. I mean, obviously, what are you doing when you're performing solo? You're interacting with the crowd? How's it working?
Yeah, I try to interact with the crowd a little bit. I know there's a lot of artists out there who like to tell stories and talk more than they do sing. My thing is I love singing. So I do more singing than I do talking and storytelling. But yeah, in between songs, I'll tell a little story. Like whenever I do Tyler Childers, I'll talk about how I met him up at the V Club here in Huntington, West Virginia. And I tell that story, or I'll tell the story about how I didn't even know that I was doing it, but I ended up playing music with the Kentucky Headhunters at a garage in Kentucky one time. Didn't even know who they were, just hanging out with a bunch of good old boys playing music.
Wow. What's the Tyler Childers story? I mean, he's blowing up.
Oh, yeah. So it was for my birthday weekend. My dad took me out to see Tyler Childers up at the V Club. And I can't remember the exact story. I think it was like $5 all-you-can-drink PBRs. So after the show, I ended up double-fisting a couple PBRs. And I took it up to Tyler. I said, man, you put on a hell of a show. That was awesome. These are yours. He said, yes, sir, my kind of man. And we just started talking a little bit about music. And his mom and dad was there. They seem like pretty cool people, too.
Yeah, and Tyler Childers, he'll still drink a PBR.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it don't matter who you are, where you're from, or what your financial position is. A PBR is a PBR.
Oh, that's great. You're heading to Nashville to record some songs. I like how you tell your fans to pick which one. How many are we recording? Are we going to go? Do we know how many we're doing when we head to Nashville?
Yeah, so right now I'm planning on doing 8 songs. I have a good list of the songs on my Facebook that people that's been to my live shows, they've heard me play them before. And I just put a list up of songs that I'm going to record, but I kind of want to know which one they'd like me to record first to put out, so that way I can get whatever the fan favorite is out to the fans first.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, 8 songs. How long have these been in the can? Have you been writing these for years, in the last year or two, or what?
Oh, man. So whenever it comes to the songwriting, I mean, a lot of these songs, there's a good 3 or 4 of them, about half the album I've wrote in the past year or two, but the other ones, they've been around as long as I've been playing music live, so probably 8-9 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
They've been simmering. They're ready to be recorded.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm tired of letting them take back burner. I'm going to put them out now.
Yeah, go check him out. He's on Facebook under Austin Adkins. His website, austinadkinsmusic.com. He's also on Twitter. His latest single you're going to hear in a minute, Full Tilt. Earlier on the show, I played Fell in Love in the Middle of a Back Road. You mentioned it. It's for your girlfriend. How did it happen?
So whenever we first met, we lived about 2.5 hours apart. And we would just take turns going and seeing each other. She'd come down here, I'd go up there. And about the second or third time that I went up there, she decided she wanted to go ridge running. So she took me out on her back road, and it was at that point that it just clicked in my head. Fell in love in the middle of a back road. I mean, plain, simple, straight out. and it just came in my head. So as soon as I got back home, I started writing it.
Man, ridge running? What's that?
So up here in West Virginia, we got a ton of ridges, and almost every ridge has got a ton of dirt roads, and you just go run the ridges, ridge running.
Wow. So you can see everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's one spot up here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you got a giant field come springtime, like right now, all the yellow flowers start blooming, and it just looks great.
Huh. I've never been to West Virginia. It sounds gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely a few good spots. It's breathtaking.
Austin Adkins, it says you were diagnosed as a kid with Asperger's. How's that affected you?
Well, Asperger's is a form of autism, and the main characteristic of it is kind of social awkwardness. And you wouldn't be able to tell it whenever I'm up on stage.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, like whenever I come off stage, I'll feel awkward, nervous coming up to talk to people because in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I'm going to say something that's going to make someone mad, or I'm going to end up making a fool out of myself. But 9 times out of 10, I do just fine. I've come to learn that. I'm 28 years old now. I've come to learn that 9 times out of 10, everybody's just having a good time. But another key characteristic of autism, not a lot of people realize it, but autism is actually very good with the creative arts. So, like filmmaking, acting, music, painting, drawing, creative arts is something that autistic people are very good at. They've actually saying now that they believe that Leonardo da Vinci had characteristics of autism.
Huh. Crazy. Well, Mozart, you said, had Asperger's.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a list online. You can go online and look up famous people with autism, famous people with Asperger's, and they have an entire list. And it's even people that you wouldn't even think that's got it, and they have it. But then once you see it, and in the back of your mind, that they're good with the creative arts, it's like, okay, that makes sense.
Huh. Crazy. Well, creative arts, I think it's on your personal Facebook page. What's this movie clip that you put up there?
So, my best friend since preschool, I mean, honestly, my mom and his older sister went to school together. I've known him my whole life. He is an aspiring filmmaker. And that was just a little clip from just a project that he had an idea for a couple of years back. And he had me come in to do the test footage for it. And that's basically all that is. He's right now working on getting all the equipment and the space needed to start recording his films. And I'm going to see if I can't get with him and either do some acting or at the very least some songwriting and music for his films.
Yeah, maybe we'll see on the big screen here in the next couple of years. Full Tilt, is this your truck, Austin, that's on the cover of this thing?
No, I couldn't. My buddy Rex has a truck just like that. And I couldn't pin him down because he's always out doing something. But he has a truck just like that, and we always talked about for Full Tilt to put that on the cover of it. But like I said, it's hard to pin him down because he's always on the go. So I just went ahead and went online, and I found a picture of a truck that looked just identical to his. And I was like, okay, I'm going to use it.
There it is. Full Tilt. I mean, we imagine, well, we also have an artist around here who has a song called Full Tilt that's about pinball. But your Full Tilt is about going full tilt on your truck. Tell us about the song, Austin.
So the idea behind the song is I have a family friend. His name's Terry Chafin. And dude loves riding motorcycles. And he does some crazy things. I mean, he'll be going 60 miles an hour and stand up and do like a T-pose like he's on a cross on the back of his motorcycle going 60 miles an hour down the road. And it was him doing all this wild and crazy stuff. I was like, yeah, you know what, Terry, you always live full tilt. You're always going all balls to the wall, ready to meet your maker at any point in time. And he's like, yeah, I am. So that was where the idea for Full Tilt came from.
Yeah, he's going full tilt. He's pounding the pavement full tilt. It's Austin Adkins. Go check him out, austinadkinsmusic.com. Go and like him. He's on Facebook, Twitter. Here's his latest single. It's Full Tilt. Austin, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
It's KIX 96.5.